and welcome to the Chhatrapati Shivaji Vastu Sangrahalaya, Maharaj Vastu Sangrahalaya. Sorry, it's a very confusing long name, but it's a beautiful, beautiful structure, and it's one of the most iconic parts of Mumbai city. It's a place that I love coming to, and I thought I'd bring you guys along today and just give you a little glimpse as to what's inside and what's happening, and yeah, show you where I like to spend some of my time sitting and sketching, looking at historical pieces and looking at beautiful works of art that you don't really get to see very much in Bombay. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you do get a chance to come to Bombay, you should definitely check it out. So here we go. This is the atrium of the entire space. It looks absolutely stunning. You've got some nice painted work on the ceiling of the entire veranda, and a lovely bit of architecture with the wood and with the marble. The first thing that greets you is a wonderful statue called La Source or Fountain, and it's by Jean-Auguste Dominique Gray. This museum has a major collection of a lot of different things. The first thing I want to take you guys through very quickly is a sculpture gallery, where we've got works from across India, from different times. Pretty much everything that you see here is dedicated to reliving and growing the love for Indian art and architecture from the past. So if you look at all the sculptures here, there's a lot of gods, goddesses, and each one of them has their own story. Now, if you remember one from the earlier vlogs, my friend Atul, he studied this, and I will be soon getting him to sit down and walk us through this one more time, to just tell us all the stories about the different characters and different gods and goddesses in Hindu mythology. But just for today, I want to take you through very quickly and show you what we have on display and how rich Indian heritage is. There's one thing I love, it's hearing the voices of people in a museum. It's so good to see people coming in. This is the Pre and Proto History Gallery. It takes a look at the history of the Indian subcontinent way before any of us were around or even knew that we were human. This is a little look at the Paleolithic period. Here are some of the kingdoms and areas of the erstwhile India, Hindustan, before it was even Hindustan. And it's quite beautiful to see so many rivers and so many places of historical significance, all the different tools that we used before we started getting smarter and cultivating things and growing much more carefully on how we produce things. These are some old fossilized pieces, vertebrae and jaws, things that we use later to create tools for us to use, like these. We have an axe, we've got grinding stones, arrowheads, knives, even an old pestle and mortar, which is quite interesting. We've got chisels and things that a lot of people use to carve all the details of the imagery that we see. For example, here, which tells Zoroastrian tales from the Assyrian palace reliefs. Stunning work, absolutely stunning work, and the way the museum has put these in on display is absolutely magnificent, because it looks like it's been fitted into the wall. It looks like a part of the whole thing. I'm so glad that we have this because the Parsis are just inclusive in terms of their cultural contribution, in terms of what they've brought to America especially, and India as a whole. So Doraji Dada is one of the biggest contributors to cultural artifacts in our museums today. So it's extremely heartening to see things like this where you have old works of sculpture and crafted artworks that come in that you wouldn't necessarily find very easily in a museum, including these old toys and games. Now some of these have been fixed, some of them have been left as they are. They're all pretty much exactly how you would have seen them way back when. First cultures that we always learn of in Indian history is the Harappan civilization of the Indus Valley, and because they lived on the river they had to fish and they had to use everything that you found in the river itself. So here, as you can tell, we've got some fish hooks, we've got shells that have been reused and reappropriated, different kinds of axes and knives and grinding machines and blades that were crafted by hand, as with everything else over here. Even pieces of jewelry. Now, jewelry is something that we are very, very proud of in our Indian tradition because it's crafted very carefully. Each piece is unique. There's no pieces of jewelry that are the same. And that's the beauty. You'll never find something that's very exactly the same. A little look at the trade and the trade routes that we have through India. So Mumbai is not even on this map because it's so far south, but this is where the major movement happened throughout history. So you've got a lot of places in Asia that were gateways, and so you have the Harappan civilization over here. This is where Punjab is now, all the rivers, and all the movement basically came through here, through these areas, through Sindh, through Tabarkot, through Harappa, through Punjab, and this is what it brought about. Changes in how we produce things, changes in how we create and live. And one of the most important things that they produce is terracotta and pottery, ceramics, all of these things. These are all the different materials that they were using and we still use today. Natural clay, feldspar, sand, ash, processed clay, rice husks, horse dung. The pots from back then haven't really changed much. I mean, they've lasted this long, they've lasted really beautifully. This is the entire process of creating one of those pots that's been demonstrated by the museum here. A beautifully laid out diagram. It takes it all the way through all the steps until we come to the actual pots themselves. Here we have an entire new gallery dedicated to Indian miniature painting, which is a tradition and goes back very far. It's something that a lot of people are getting back into today and are very interested in collecting. Unfortunately, the focus here isn't all that great on my phone, but I'm going to try and show you guys. There we go. Some beautiful examples of Indian miniatures. Each of these tells a story. Each of them is beautifully crafted by hand, and magnificent time waiting for people who have the power to create everything brushes mechanically, so they have to do by hand, and so they manage to make exactly what they needed to be able to produce very, very delicate pieces that look like this. Portraits are a big part of the miniature style of art, and as well as that comes the framing around it, the entire inlay. Usually it's done with gold, and it leads you to a very beautiful picture that is framed and carefully constructed, but very, very interesting. bright thing that says photo pass on it. So I was supposed to go after the counter and they said, yeah, you can do it with this, you can go ahead, there's no problem. But, oh well, I guess I'll have to just stop the meter every time somebody stops me because they're all confused. But it's a good thing that they're doing their jobs and I'm really appreciative of that. They're also being very polite about it, they're not being disruptive. And so I'm happy and really, really glad that this happens more and more. People have to be responsible towards it. Now here we are in the Himalayan gallery where you have a lot of Tibetan art, Asian art that's happening. It's very, very beautiful. I've been to Ladakh. If you check out one of my earlier vlogs, I have mentioned that, and unfortunately I wasn't filming at that time because I was probably years out. But the next time I do go up there, I will show you guys as much as I can. And yeah, it's very, very intricate stuff. It's beautiful to learn. It's very meditative. All of the art by itself, like all of these, you can just read them slowly by yourself and meditating as you walk through. Another great feature is the statues. They're beautiful statues. Many a time it's of the goddess Tara, Hindu goddesses. Nepalese and Tibetan art is focused on, I don't know what the right word is. It's very strange sort of thing. And if you look at something like this, it's very descriptive, very narrative. They're focused very highly on the narrative where they tell you the story in a way that you never forget it. They will tell you a story that you will always remember and you'll never be able to sort of skip over things because you don't want to. It's always about the beauty of the thing, it's always about the history of the thing, and it's important to remember all of that, and that's what they want you to take away from it. Even the simplest things like jugs, beautifully carved and absolutely wonderfully decorated. So every time you look at something like this, you remember, you never forget it, and you always take away that there's something more and more beautiful to take with you. The other gallery section on the other side, the stairwell was made of marble. Here you've got tiles and granite and stuff and sandstone and things, which again for me is absolutely beautiful because we've done something which is create structures. Even before the British Empire, this last second and we've done a lot of things over here that are sort of glorious in their own stature as architectural pieces of sandstone. This building itself is made up quite a bit of it if you can follow the entire architecture. Now it's a little bit difficult for me to give you the actual sort of sense of drama that comes in on this video, but every time you stand in this atrium on any floor and you look down, it looks absolutely stunning. And a little bit of stuff from a little bit of European stuff now. The European style is extremely a big part of Indian design culture because we were British for 200 years and they left a lot of their stamps on us and we haven't really grown out of it yet completely, so we see a lot of this going around. A lot of people have glasses like these in their homes still. I mean, I know I do. And they're absolutely beautiful, but they're not exactly completely European themselves. So when Europeans came to India, they also took something on us with them. They also devoted their design style using our stuff, our skills, our aesthetics. And so what you end up with is beautiful works like this. Now I'm going to take you around a little bit and show you some more imagery. And I will take you into the painting galleries quite shortly, but this is a little fellow standing in front of the Asian section, which I will take you through as well in a minute. But first I want to continue with the European and Persian styles because they come out with stunning pieces, which honestly you won't really see today. Nobody produces this kind of quality intentionally on a factory level, and this was all handcrafted. This is beautiful that people somehow really lost the sight of. I think we need to go back to this era of beautiful craftsmanship where crystal is given its absolute due. It's a very difficult medium to work in, and yet people do it all the time without understanding it. Tata gallery, which is absolutely stunning. It has European works of art which have been collected over the years, from landscapes to figurative paintings to even some sculptures and portraits. How all the art that we have in the and we're trying to get them back into the best shape possible. There's a lot of paintings that have to be touched up or be done in a while, and then things are cracking, but the museum is extremely focused on bringing these works back to their prime. As you can tell, looking at the difference between this one, that one, and this one. Now, this is a very, very interesting painting. It's a very important story, where the original owner had actually trimmed the canvas down and got rid of a sword that was hanging on top there, which is what the painting is about. It's called the Sword of Damocles. It's a stunning piece of art. It's a very soft touch, it's a very light hand. It's painted by Antoine Dubois. This is in 1804. The Renaissance produced a lot of different styles of art, but the themes generally remain the same, and here the finishes that were given to it were absolutely stunning. It has multiple layers of varnish that had to be removed. They had to fix the entire seam at the top over there, which is done really, really well. The group that works here at the museum are fantastic. They are doing a killer job. And the reason I say killer job is because they are killing every single expectation and pushing it to a higher level every single time. Every small little landscape like this little John Constable piece is given as much to it as the Dubois Sword of Damocles. Is absolutely stunning, and I'm proud when I come from a city that has a museum with a dedicated staff like this who knows the importance of preserving and reigniting the flame behind art. It's wonderful to come here and just sit and sketch, which I really do in a little while, but we can't really see works of art like this a lot. Now in the Sir Ratan Tata gallery, which is again a continuation of the European style. Here we have a lot more portraiture because Ratan Tata's collection is filled with a lot of portraiture. Stunning works again, absolutely beautiful. There's Dutch paintings, English paintings, there's some German pieces, there's pieces from across the world here, and they're all absolutely stored really well, and they are being taken care of in a good manner, in a respectable manner. The things that are changing, but for the most part they're leaving the frames as they are, like on this painting, because it does lend character to the work. It does give it a very these are some beautiful pieces. Unfortunately the glass is reflecting a little bit too much, but this is a Sir John Gilbert painting called The Crusaders from 1875. It stories from British and European history that in India we never bothered to think of, because we usually find them out of our land. And while there are conflicts, while there were big struggles, one cannot let that get in the way of looking at art, because art is meant to transcend, it's meant to go beyond borders, it's meant to tell stories, and that's exactly what you see over here. This is a beautiful painting called The Bohemian Gypsies by T. McNeice, and it's a massive piece. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love looking at it, but this is always something new to find in the painting, and I hope you guys and really explore different forms of art as you go along. Take you into the jungle because the gallery is similar to shooting today. It's got modern works of art with the artists, so technically I shoot those. But it is one of my favorite galleries in the city because it's absolutely stunning. It's got beautiful curated shows every month. And the last one that was here before this one was a Chitish collection, which was an amazing installation. It was absolutely stunning. And I cannot wait to see some more. Here are some of previous shows. Taking a Line for a Walk. These are all stunningly curated pieces. This is from the collection of Keku and Kari Jahangir Gandhi, and it's amazing stuff. It's absolutely amazing stuff. There's photographs. There was a Howard Hodgkin painting, beautifully curated, like I've said before. is very, very interesting in terms of what we learn from it, so that you can take it with it and create artworks, inspiration, by learning what's come in the past, what's happening, and where we want to go with artwork itself. While we're passing through, I just want to give you a quick look at the coin gallery. Again, another important part of Indian history is the money and how it's made and how it's used, which is quite fun if you're interested in that kind of stuff. The processes for me are more interesting than the money itself. But yeah, as soon as you walk out of the gallery, you're greeted with this. The grounds in this museum are stunning. There's just so much greenery everywhere, beautiful trees, and they modernized the building really, really well in keeping with the history of the place, making sure that nothing was lost when people were redoing it or bringing up the code, bringing it up to the modern era. And I'm really glad about that. They really know what they're doing. They're really keeping it a lot of thought, and it's inspiring to see that we have the future in the city for art. We really, really do. Corridors, they're filled with art everywhere that you look. The whole thing is beautifully done, and as you come out, again, like I said, wonderful, wonderful outdoors. It's raining a little bit, so I'm being a bit careful and walking slowly, but there's amazing gardens everywhere. Obviously we're not allowed to walk on the gardens there, but the interesting thing is that every now and again they do host stuff on the lawns over there. They had a talk a little while back with Chikishkala about his exhibition and what he's going to do and what he's taking shows. It's a wonderful experience to come to this museum. If you get a chance, I suggest you make sure you have a little bit of time on it, so around 2 to 3 hours. You can properly go through the entire museum to get more. Now, I wasn't allowed to show you guys inside of the Asian art collection, but perhaps next time I'll do something who knows what it's all about and can tell you a lot more about it. So it becomes a lot more interesting for you, and you guys get the full experience of Japanese, Chinese, the entire Oriental art scene, because it's absolutely stunning and cannot be missed. And now, as we come back out to the final time, we have some beautiful, beautiful trees, great glorious ones, a lovely set of lawns. A place that even at the height of summer is so stunning and so inviting that no matter how hard the sun's beating down, you want to be here. Hello, crow. There's a lot of birds that come around here. I don't know if you can hear them all today, but there's parrots and miners and a whole host of birds, even storks sometimes. It's a stunningly calm place to be, no matter how crowded it is, because everyone just keeps a distance. Everyone just gives you your space. Everyone lets you take in all of the surroundings, all of the art, all of the sculptures at your own pace. There's no rush, there's no need to run around and get anywhere or do anything. You can just be relaxed, be chill, be comfortable with whatever you're doing, wherever you're going. So yeah, that was my little tour of the museum, and I hope you liked it. If you did enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, do that. I will see you guys next time with another interview. It's coming up very soon. Bye.